class, Josephine here. I want to show you a couple of things about presentation for drawings. Now, notice I have push pinned a drawing to a black backdrop. There's some paper or felt back there so that it makes a nice solid backdrop. Only it's not completely covering the entire wall. So we see this kind of area of wall back in there, and that kind of visually detracts from the composition. Now notice my default colors, and if I want to say I want to keep my black background and I want to straighten out my drawing, I can notice what happens if the white's in the background. I want to go to image rotation, arbitrary, and I'm going to rotate that a little bit, half an angle, 0.05. See that? And notice the white. Now if I wanted to switch that out, I'm going to hit Command Z or Command Option Z, all three of those keys. Sometimes you have to do that. And I'm going to switch these two by hitting that. And I'm going to try that again. Image, rotation, arbitrary, okay. And notice it's maintained black all the way around. So now what I want to do is just crop this drawing a little bit. Now the push pins, I could touch those up, paint those out, use the stamp tool, any number of things. If I wanted to get rid of those push pins, but you know, not really necessary. It's better to not have them if you can, but you've got to hold the drawing on the wall somehow, right? So if you want a straight angle. So what I'm just going to leave those there, and I'm going to crop the drawing and try to crop it so that it's kind of even all the way around. I notice the bottom is a little bit more narrow than the top and the sides, so I'm going to do this by eye. There are snap guides that one can use, but I'm going to just eyeball it because I'm pretty good at eyeballing it, and I can always adjust it later. Image, crop, and now notice it's much cleaner. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to show you. Another thing I wanted to show you is when we are photographing artwork, notice this is carefully cropped. There's nothing else in the composition, nothing overlapping the drawing. No, it's not skewed. We can't see the wall behind it. There's no coffee cup sitting on it. We don't see the room through the other, you know, because it's propped up and leaned against something, so we see everything in the room. It's just the drawing. So there's that old saying in art, presentation is 50% of it. So we want to do our best to make it as clean and precise and professional as possible, because that's part of what we're doing here. And every job application, every exhibition you want to enter, you want to show your work in order to present your portfolio. Anything grainy or off-kilter looks sloppy, and we want it to be as clean as possible. So notice the coloration. When we have we photograph drawings in incandescent light, it tends to cast a yellowish, orange, almost pinkish light, depending on the type of light bulb, over the paper, and that is reflected back on the paper. And we want to get rid of that. This one also has some kind of blue and green. So there's a couple of different light sources giving all this pixelation. I didn't have the greatest camera. I didn't save it at the highest resolution. I was just learning. But at least I can clean it up and get rid of all that different color. So with each stage we learn and we find new tricks that work. Here we have an ability to eliminate all those color pixelations by going to Image, Adjustment, Desaturate, and notice now the drawing is a grayscale. Here's another one. This one photographed under fluorescent light, that yellowish green, and again there's all that pixelation going on. I can either go to Image, Adjustments, Desaturate, or I can use the keyboard shortcut. If you're using Mac, it's Command U, the letter U. If you're using a PC, it's Alt or Option, the letter U. So Command U brings up this hue, saturation, and lightness. I can eliminate the color completely, so it's a grayscale. If it's too dark, I can lighten it up a little bit. Be careful, it can get really out of focus and blurry looking. Use this very cautiously. I'm going to hit OK. Oops. Let me do that again. Command U. Get rid of, oops, never mind that. I just want to lighten it up a tiny bit. Okay, and now I have a clean presented drawing, carefully cropped, and no color from the light source. All right, I'll see you back in class.